As the sun sets on the horizon, we can't help but think about how far Hyundai has come in the last 3 decades. Once a small Korean company, known for producing cheap and unreliable vehicles that were often the butt of jokes, Hyundai has now emerged as a fierce competitor in the automobile industry. But how did they manage to turn things around so drastically? It's almost as if there was a hidden force at work, propelling Hyundai towards success. A force that lurked beneath the surface, waiting to be unleashed. And now, as we look back at their incredible journey, we can't help but wonder what secrets Hyundai holds. The rise of Hyundai to its current prominence is a captivating tale, with an inspiring protagonist at its center. Chung Ju-Yung, a young man who grew up on a farm and yearned to escape poverty, left his hometown as a teenager and set out on a tumultuous journey marked by failures, setbacks, and humiliations. Despite facing daunting challenges at every turn, Chung refused to abandon his aspirations and eventually founded the largest corporation in South Korea. Chung's unwavering determination and visionary outlook transformed not only the automotive industry, but also other domains such as construction and shipbuilding. His spectacular achievements catapulted him to the pinnacle of success, making him the wealthiest individual in South Korea and an emblematic figure in the global business arena. Chung Ju-Yung was born in 1915 in Tongkong, North Korea, during Japan's colonial rule. He had to abandon his dream of becoming a teacher at 14 to work on the farm with his father, tilling the land by hand, caring for livestock, and selling firewood to make ends meet. The family lived in poverty, and a single bad harvest meant months of hunger. Chung was plagued by thoughts of living a life of poverty as a farmer and wondered if he would always have a crooked back. He yearned for a better life and eventually had enough. At 16, he and a friend fled their village and walked through dangerous parts of the country to reach Kawan, where they found work as construction laborers. Although the pay was meager, Chung was content to earn his own money. His newfound independence was short-lived as his father found him 2 months later and took him back to the village. Despite being caught twice more over the next 2 years as he attempted to escape to Seoul, Chung refused to settle for a life he didn't want. Despite his father's disapproval, Chung was determined to pursue a better life. He fled the village for the 4th and final time after a bad harvest left the people without food for the winter. He worked odd jobs, starting as a construction worker and later a handyman at a starch syrup factory. He found stability as a delivery man at the Bokong rice store, where he worked his way up to store accountant within 6 months due to his impressive work ethic. Chung acquired the Bokong rice store after impressing its owners with his work ethic. He changed its name to Kyungo Rice Store and grew the business rapidly by attracting new customers with low prices. Unfortunately, the Japanese government established a rice rationing system that forced Chung and other Korean business owners out of trading rice. As a result, Chung had to close his business and return to his home village. Chung returned to the city and started a new business in the car repair industry called Ado Service Garage. Despite having no knowledge of cars, he hired a skilled mechanic and differentiated his business by offering low prices and quality service. The strategy worked, and he quickly grew his customer base, eventually hiring more mechanics to keep up with demand. Chung faced setbacks when his repair shop burned down, leaving him with massive debts. He took out another loan and opened a new shop in a busier part of the city, which grew to become one of the best auto repair spots in Seoul with over 70 employees. However, as he planned to expand his business, another event changed the fate of his company. Chung's first auto repair shop was merged with a steel plant by the Japanese occupational government in 1942, leaving him with no choice but to return to his home village. However, he saved 50,000 won and reopened his business in 1946 after Korea gained independence from Japan. The new venture, called Hyundai Auto Service Center, grew rapidly and had nearly 80 employees by the end of the year. Chung's family also joined the business, which continued to thrive in the newly established country of South Korea. Chung founded the Hyundai Construction Company in 1947 after witnessing the profit margins in the industry. Though it initially struggled, by 1950, the company was making great progress until the outbreak of the Korean War forced Chung to abandon his business and flee to Busan. With no money, he and his brother worked for various publishers and delivered newspapers to citizens and the frontline troops, spreading hope that UN forces were on their way to rescue them. Chung stumbled upon a help wanted sign from the U.S. Army and began building barracks for thousands of American soldiers during the war, developing a great partnership with the U.S. Army. He later completed even bigger projects, such as remodeling a U.S. quarter in South Korea and building a lodging for the U.S. president during their visits. Chung's Hyundai company became a leading construction firm for the U.S. Army during the Korean War. Despite this success, South Korea was still struggling economically. To rebuild infrastructure and boost the economy, the U.S. government provided billions of dollars to the South Korean government. Chung saw an opportunity and won a contract to restore the Goryeo Bridge, but the project was fraught with challenges, including lack of equipment, safety issues, and inflation. Chung ran out of money and took on more loans, while his brothers sold their houses to pay the workers. The project was completed, but the family was left with huge debts and humiliation. After witnessing the failure of the Goryeo Bridge, Chung Ju-Yung made a vow to create a successful business and build the biggest company in Korea. He saw his previous failures as an expensive lesson and learned from them. The Goryeo Bridge disaster was a turning point for Hyundai, as Chung received a high credit score from the Ministry of Interior, allowing him to obtain loans and expand his business. He also realized the importance of heavy equipment and advanced machinery, which he obtained through his partnership with the U.S. Army, giving him a significant advantage over his competitors in a market where private businesses were banned from importing such equipment. Chung Ju-Young's determination to build the biggest company in the country led to Hyundai's transformation from a failing business to a global conglomerate within 2 decades. The construction of the Goryeo Bridge disaster taught Chung the importance of heavy equipment and machinery. Partnering with the U.S. Army allowed him to buy equipment directly, giving him a significant advantage over his competitors. Hyundai won countless restoration projects across the country, building roads, bridges, dams, and buildings. Chung also successfully bid on billion-dollar projects overseas, such as the Jubal Industrial Harbor in Saudi Arabia and the Arab Shipbuilding and Repair Yard in Bahrain, turning Hyundai into a rising global conglomerate. Chung Ju-Young's ambition to build the biggest company in South Korea was achieved in 1960, thanks in part to the government's support of rising conglomerates like Hyundai. While the government's assistance was not given without reason, Chung's hard work and determination were undeniable. He expanded Hyundai into various industries and never forgot his goal of re-entering the automobile industry, which he did in 1967 with the founding of Hyundai Motor Company. The government's policy of requiring joint ventures with local businesses for foreign automakers allowed Chung to get back into the industry and establish Hyundai as a major player in the global automotive market. Chung Ju-Yung entered the automobile industry in 1967 by founding the Hyundai Motor Company with a deal to license the use of Ford vehicles. The first car that came out of the factory floor was the Hyundai Cortina, but it failed to succeed in Korea due to poor road conditions. Flooding in September 1969 further affected the company's sales and reputation, pushing it to the brink of bankruptcy. However, Chung refused to close the business and kept producing vehicles with the belief that he could make it work. Chung Ju-Young's Hyundai struggled with the Cortina, which failed to meet the demands of South Korean roads, leading to a poor reputation and loss of sales. Flooding and rumors of waterlogged cars further affected the company's reputation, but Chung refused to give up. As road conditions improved, the Cortina eventually gained higher sales. However, when Ford refused to let Hyundai distribute the Cortina overseas and share profits equally, Chung terminated their contract in 1974. He partnered with Mitsubishi to use their engines and hired European engineers to design the Hyundai Pony, which became an instant hit in South Korea and a best-selling vehicle in Canada. Despite early setbacks, Chung Ju-Young's Hyundai proved to be a major force in the global auto industry. Their first offering, the Cortina, failed to gain traction in Korea due to poor road conditions, but the success of the Pony and Excel models more than made up for it. Although the Pony couldn't break into the US market, the Excel did, and was an instant hit, despite facing initial criticism for its lack of quality and reliability. Regardless, Hyundai's affordable pricing allowed it to position itself as a major car brand and an innovative player in the industry. Hyundai's founder, Chung Ju-Yung, faced a long and difficult road to make his car company what it is today. After initially struggling to break into the global car market, Hyundai's Pony and XL models eventually gained success, but quality issues threatened to ruin the brand's reputation. Through hard work and perseverance, Hyundai invested in better design and manufacturing and even offered a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on their vehicles. Chung's dedication to philanthropy and his company's success left a lasting legacy. Today, the Hyundai Motor Group is one of the largest automakers in the world and a leader in electric vehicles. From a humble upbringing in the mountains of Korea, Chung Ju-Young's journey led him to build a legacy that transcends borders, inspiring millions of dreamers and entrepreneurs around to chase their passions and never give up. The Hyundai Motor Group continues to redefine what's possible, showing us that with hard work, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to quality and innovation, anything is achievable. If you liked this story, hit the like button, and to hear more such stories, hit the subscribe button. See you next time.